5 people in the Bible had every reason to feel forgotten. A man who lived almost 1,000 years, waiting for a warning to come true. A man who wrestled all night in the dark. A woman cast into the desert with nothing. A prophet who begged to die. And a girl with no name at all. None of them were kings. None of them asked for their story. But God saw every one of them. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why yours isn't forgotten either. Chapter 1. Methuselah. The wait. 969 years. Longer than any human who ever lived. His name meant, when he dies, it will come. A warning generations waited to see fulfilled. He watched the world grow darker, and still, he waited. Some of you have been waiting so long, you've stopped expecting anything to change. Methuselah's whole life was the wait. But the wait wasn't wasted. It was the warning that saved his family. But waiting is one thing. What happens when you have to fight for what's next? Chapter 2. Jacob. The struggle. Jacob wrestled a stranger all night in the dark, terrified, alone, his hip dislocated. And he still didn't let go. I will not let you go unless you bless me. He walked away, limping. But he walked away renamed Israel. He struggles with God. Some seasons aren't meant to be escaped. They're meant to be wrestled through. But what if nobody's even wrestling with you? What if you just feel invisible? Chapter 3. Hagar. Being seen. Cast into the desert, certain her son was about to die. No water, no one coming. She wasn't a queen or a prophet. She was overlooked and alone. Then she heard a voice. God has heard. And she gave God a name that day. The one who sees me. You are not invisible, not to him. But what happens when the person who feels forgotten is the one everyone thought was the strongest? Chapter 4. Elijah, the breaking point. The day after his greatest victory, Elijah collapsed under a tree and begged God to let him die. God didn't rebuke him. He sent bread and water, then rest. Then, on the mountain, not in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire, but in a gentle whisper, God finally spoke. Sometimes God isn't in the noise. He's in the quiet, after you've been fed and rested. 4 powerful named people, but the last story isn't about someone powerful at all. Chapter 5. The servant girl, the small act. She was kidnapped from her home, forced to serve the very army that took her. She's never even named in scripture. But she spoke up for the healing of the man who held her captive and changed his life forever. One captive girl's small act of kindness changed everything. A man who waited almost 1,000 years. A man who wrestled until dawn. A woman cast out with nothing. A prophet who wanted to die. A girl with no name and no power. None of them were forgotten. Not one. If today feels like waiting, wrestling, invisibility, or exhaustion, you're not off God's story. You might be right in the middle of it. Which of these 5 hit you hardest today? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. And if this helped, subscribe.